All right. Now, Twitch chat, this is when you say hi to YouTube. So it's been quite a while, I think, since I've done a little Street Fighter V lesson for everybody, and I've been thinking about this mechanic for quite some time, because it is something that I think high-level Balrog players pay a lot of attention to, but it kind of goes under the radar for many other types of players, and it's something that you see not discussed or not really thought about from low-level to high-level players. I mean, there's great players I know that don't really pay too much attention to this mechanic, and it's both an offensively relevant mechanic and defensively. It's one of the best defensive options you have. And I think it's so right under your nose that most people don't think about it. And that's simply which way and how you tech when knocked down. And I know that sounds boring. That's a boring answer because you say, Brian, I always back roll because I always want to run away and get away from the opponent and go back to neutral. Stop right there. You got to think about it for a second. You got to think about how you tech. I think many people do not think about it. What do I even mean when I say tech? When you get knocked down in this game, I can choose how to get off the floor. There's 3 different options. See here in training mode, I can do normal recovery, back recovery, or no recovery. So here's basic example. Sweep knocks you down. This is normal recovery in training mode, or as most people refer to it as quick rise. You hit the ground. You either press punches, all 3 punches, or you press down, I believe, on the stick when you hit the ground, and you'll just get up. Back recovery, same idea. But instead, you do a slightly slower recovery that goes slightly further away. To do that, when you get knocked down, you press all kicks, or I believe you press back. I do kicks and punches to choose which tech I do. I play charge characters, so I'm usually holding down back the whole time, and I'll just press the buttons. Punches to quick rise, kicks to back roll. If you want to do no recovery, you simply don't press anything. And then you get off the floor much more slowly and in the same spot where you fell, just like a quick rise, but slower. And those are the 3 options you have from most moves. There are exceptions to this. Those exceptions are very powerful and are there for a reason. Being able to choose which way you tech gives you options on defense, which can limit the opponent's offensive options. And I know everyone goes, oh, Street Fighter V, no defensive options. There's nothing you can do, but this is something you can do. You can influence what the opponent has to do in order to apply pressure to you. And I'm going to break down what that is. Let's go over again the difference between a quick rise and a back roll. That's a quick rise. That's a back roll. The difference is only 5 frames. If you back roll, you get up further away and you get up 5/60ths of a second later. So it's a very small difference. That makes a huge world of difference in the options your opponent has when pressuring you. So here, let me give you a super basic example. I'm going to show you a super common knockdown with G. Now, let's play this back. So, G is knocking me down. I want to get away from him. I back roll. What just happened? He got 2 levels up on the Presidentiality. Now he's super powered up, and he can do whatever he wants. You know, shoot lava from his fingertips and do mad damage from every conversion. Because I back rolled from this hit, I gave him the opportunity to squeeze in another level up. Let's try that again, but let's see what happens if I quick rise. I'm right there. I'm much closer to him, and it looks like I'm recovering faster. I can punish him. I can knock him down. I can prevent him from leveling up and make him lose the level that he gained. Easy. You can't get away with that. You can get even more, if you're really prepared. If you try to sneak that one past someone who's looking out for it, if you quick rise that, that's not allowed. But as a G player, I can't tell you how many times I'm in this scenario as a G. I do this same exact combo from one corner to the middle of the screen, and people back rise every single time. If I back rise this, my options to punish are so much more limited. I can do that with Meteor as Balrog, but most characters can't. Most characters can't reach from here. I always have an option as Rog, but do you have a move that sends you across the screen and flies at the opponent? Most people don't. Every character in the game can threaten by quick rising in that position. Now, what does that force the G player to do? That forces the G player to only get this. This is the only safe option that G has. Can't punish him. It's a mind game. If you're on defense and you see the situation occur, you know to quick rise to prevent him from stealing an extra level. If you're on offense and you're the G player and you see that they back roll every single time you knock them down, you can just take 2 levels. They're not going to react. A lot of players tend to autopilot to one or the other option without ever thinking about it. Now, most people prefer to back roll, I've noticed, as a habit. They'll just back roll by default on every knockdown, because if you back rise, what does that get you? That gets you space. That gets you space, and I'll show you why people like to do that. So I have Akuma here set to do a wake up with his fastest move, his standing jab. It's 3 frames. It's the fastest move you can have. And I'm going to have him do that move on wake up. So anytime I knock him down, I'm going to have him quick rise and press that button. Now, what does that give me from this knockdown? From this standard knockdown, if you quick rise and I dash up to you, I have enough time to get in your grill and press a button before you can do anything about it. You try to press your fastest move, I'm going to hit you to the punch. I'm going to beat you to the punch as I'm faster. I got there before you're up off the ground, right? I'm just beating you up there. So you can't press a button there if I'm on point. If I'm on point looking out for it and you quick rise, I got you. The other concern is I can throw you. I dash up to you and I'm point blank in your grill, and you have to guess between a button or a throw. If you throw tech, you can get counter hit. So it's a guess, right? Now what happens if you back rise? I can't throw you anymore. For me to throw you, I can't do the same setup anymore. If I do dash up immediate throw, it doesn't work. It just whiffs. I can walk into you and time my throw. If I'm confident after this dash that you back rolled, I can still get in range to throw. But the thing is, it's such a tiny window on offense that I can't cover both effectively. I can practice my reactions as the Balrog player and say if they quick rise, I dash throw right away, and if they back roll, I dash walk throw, but that is such a finite window that it borders on unreactable, and that allows you to mix up your options and keep the person on offense guessing. I can't just autopilot the setup. If I autopilot the setup, you're going to punish me, and you gain more ground. Obviously, I can look out for it. I can still dash up, and if I guess that you're going to back roll, if I react to the back roll, I can crush counter you. It's not a get out of jail free card, but generally it prevents the opponent from being too close to throw you, or they have to alter their setup and approach that doesn't work on the quick rise. A more extreme example of this would be EX dash punch. I can still get in close, right? If you quick rise, I can get in close and throw you. However, if I try to do the same approach, you back roll, there's no way I can throw you. It's actually impossible for me to throw you. So one of the most common things I see when playing as Balrog is that everyone back rolls when they get hit by EX dash straight. My setup, which will get me close enough to you when you quick rise and in time to beat your buttons when you quick rise, means I cannot throw you if you back roll. So you essentially escape the pressure. Once again, obviously, if I do that same approach, but I know you're gonna back roll, I can do something to hit you. It's not get out of jail free, but it makes me have to second guess my options. Making the opponent second guess their offensive options in Street Fighter V is what the defense of the game is all about. That is what Street Fighter V defense is about. There's no one size fits all defensive option. It does not exist, but you need to make the opponent on offense second guess. You can prevent them from steamrolling you by varying these tiny little things. You will find that you'll be able to interrupt them more often. They will start to back off on offense because they can't trust that their meaty pressure is going to work anymore. And you'll find yourself escaping pressure far more often than you would have otherwise. If you are not mixing up your techs, you are not employing this variability, which will make the opponent second guess themselves. When I play Balrog and I see that you have a habit of always doing back roll, you know what I can do? I can just approach your back roll. I have another setup here that'll just fuck you up if you back roll every time. That was a back roll. By altering my setup, I have a setup that'll beat back roll. And if you back roll every single time, I'll do this. I get a lot off this. I can do a meaty overhead, get really big combos. I can go high-low. I can get in and throw you. I can do whatever I want, just like on Quick Rise. If I know that you never mix up your tech, I'm just going to choose the one that you always do. If you always Quick Rise, I'll do my safe Quick Rise setup. If you always back roll, I'll do my back roll setup every single time. I don't have to think about it anymore on offense. I can go back to autopilot. But if you actually vary your techs, I have to second guess myself, because what happens if I go for my back roll setup and you Quick Rise? Jab interrupt. I'm negative. You press any button there, you're going to beat me. If I go for the back rise setup, you quick rise, you can interrupt with a jab into a counter hit confirm into big damage. I have to second guess what I'm doing. if you mix up the tech. This is why at high level you see players wake up buttons a lot more successfully than you would think normally, because they understand that from common knockdowns, there's a mind game there. I will consistently backroll a lot of knockdowns, and then one time I'll quick rise. And if you overextend thinking I'm going to backroll, I'll see that and I'll interrupt you. I'll start jabbing you. It's more complicated than just people mistiming meaties. People have to choose which meaties they do based on what tech you're doing in a lot of situations. Now, there's exceptions and there's ways where you can get good knockdowns and good situations that you can cover almost everything, but most of Street Fighter V knockdowns, especially mid-screen, you have to guess between those two options. That's why mid-screen you have more options. And in the corner, you don't have those options because you don't have the distance variation. If I get you to the corner, that's where this all falls apart, because quick rise or back roll, you're in the exact same spot. It's just a timing difference. For some characters, they have setups that can beat 3-frame on both wake up. Quick rise, that setup beats it. They back recover. Same setup beats it, right? But mid-screen, you would have gotten away. This mind game with the tech that you choose is something that I really think is overlooked at every level. I mean, I know high-level players that are very strong and can beat me, but they still have a bad habit of always doing the same tech. They never mix up their tech versus certain knockdowns. When I watch commentary of high-level matches, it's something that's glossed over. Like, they don't really question the decision behind which way they tech. And I think most low-level players 90% default to back roll every single time, and some just always quick rise, and most people are just mashing to get off the floor, and they don't realize that there's a conscious decision to be made there. And sometimes you want to do no recovery. Sometimes it's better to do no recovery, especially against grapplers. Might be better to see if they mess up their setup. I truly think this is one of the most overlooked mechanics and one of the strongest offensive mechanics in the game, and also one of the strongest tools to exploit on offense once you understand it. Once you understand this, there's many knockdowns where you will get the mind game and you'll feel more engaged. When you challenge and you hit somebody who's overextending because they thought you were going to back roll, you'll realize like that was not just random. That was something that you consciously made a decision of, and you were not conditioned by them. Or if you condition someone to always back roll and then you chase it down and get meaty with it on that back roll, you know you earned that because you presented the quick rise option. You covered their quick rise, so they started back rolling. Then at the very end, you go for some crazy back roll setup. These are options that exist in the game, and it's a super powerful both offensive mechanic to understand and defensive, and definitely the most overlooked mechanic in Street Fighter V that explains a lot of what goes down when people say, oh, this game has no offense or defense. It does. You gotta do a lot with a little in this game. If you made it this far into the video, though, I do have to say we're almost close to 30K subscribers, just like a few hundred away. So if you learned something, maybe consider hitting that subscribe. It'll mean a lot to me. My dream for 2021 would be to hit 100K. I mean, that's like a dream come true. So I do want to try to get that silver play button at some point. So if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, supporting the channel, and stick around for the next video. Peace. Bye. Yeah, this might have to go in the video. This is a prime example. Uh-oh. He's in. Nice. Thank you. Okay. Does he know the punish? No, he back rolled. If he quick rises there, he can punish with drill. I got a crouching pierce him. I'm plus, buddy. There you go, that's punish. Oh man, I love jab buffers. My God, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. See, he back rolls every single time. If he quick rises and he can get a punish on the charge, he can quick rise drill every time. But because he always back rolls, he never gets the punish. That's huge. It's matchup knowledge and not understanding the tech situation. I dropped the combo. Keep missing my DPs. Quick rise drill. Nope. Big whiff. Quick rise drill. Nope. Keeps back rolling. No punish. It's a bit of matchup knowledge, but why is he back rolling? I'm doing a move after every single knockdown, which leaves me stuck in place and unable to block. And he's back rolling every single time. This is a bad habit a lot of people have against Balrog with B-Skill 2. Punish. If I get this knockdown and I try to do my power up here, guaranteed punish if you quick rise. On EX, maybe you have to spend EX yourself. But if you do back roll every single time, it doesn't matter. You can't punish. And that Cammy player did back roll every single knockdown without question. He even understood the concept of punishing the charge, because one time he did back roll into super and punish. But, you know, he didn't try to do or quick rise into regular drill to punish. So he understood the concept of punishing it, but didn't see how the tech was influencing the options. Definitely could have just quick rise and drilled every time.